Game developers have taken the Star Wars franchise into various different genres of gaming: MMOs, FPSs, real-time strategy, 2D beat-em-ups, and more. But what about the developers on the other side, the fans? Today we'll be looking into some of the best and most interesting fan-made Star Wars games. Now these won't cover mods for games like Battlefront 2 or Empire War. We'll be looking at games made from the ground up or using any other game development tool. But before we dive into that, my question of the day is, what is your favourite genre of games? Doesn't have to be Star Wars related. But to me personally, I'm always prone to a good 3D platformer. Whilst I do enjoy narrative in my games, it's just something about those early 90s mascot driven platformers I had when I was a kid that I just really enjoy. But with that out of the way, let's get right into the video. The Force Combat game by Last Jara is a 2.5 side-scrolling fighter game, much akin to the unreleased 2005 Star Wars fighting game by Studio Giganti, or the PS1 release Star Wars Masters of Teräs Käsi. The game comes with an already wide variety of characters, ranging from Luke, Rey, Maul, Mara Jade, Leia, General Grievous, and more. The game already has a bit of a cult following too, so much so that IGN actually posted some gameplay footage of the fan-made creation. Created by just one passionate fan, the game attempts to bring hope, potential, and a refined experience to the Star Wars fighting genre, one that has certainly not seen much attention. While Star Wars Masters of Teräs Käsi on the PS1 sold well, it was a flop by critics for its unbalanced characters and sluggish controls. Force Combat attempts to right those wrongs, and judging by fan demand, it definitely looks like he's doing just that. The fighting style isn't much like you see in most fighting games. Instead of fists, you're weaving your lightsaber into your attacks, and chaining combos fill up your special meter, which is depleted when using one of your character's unique strikes. It's a passion project for sure, which shows plenty of potential. Whilst Galaxy in Turmoil is no longer technically a Star Wars fan game, it certainly deserves to be on the list because of the journey that this game went through. With LucasArts Battlefront 3 getting cancelled after the acquisition of the franchise by Disney, and EA getting the 10-year license, as well as the general disappointment with EA's Battlefront 1, that dismay turned into passion. As in early 2016, there was a leak of the game's assets, and a group called Frontwire Studios picked up where the developers, Free Radical, left off, promising to restore and finalise much of what was currently left on the cutting room floor, renaming the project Galaxy in Turmoil. Whilst not much was made during the time as a fan project, simply test rooms and further functionality tests, it met its end in August of the same year with a cease and desist from EA. The game came back years later as a standalone game without any relation to Star Wars, but failed to gain any traction as it only reached $5,000 of its $500,000 goal on Kickstarter. Whilst it may not be one of the top or best fan-made games about Star Wars out there, its journey and story definitely makes it an interesting one. The Star Wars Racer Remake is possibly one of the best looking games on this list. User Robin Jin posted to the Unreal Engines forum with one of his personal projects, a remake and restoration of the N64 game Star Wars Episode 1 Racer, trying to be as faithful as possible all the way down to the exact same UI designs. Taking almost 10 months to make by one person, the game allows you to take a third-person view or a first-person view, and whilst there's only one racing pod to play with and only one other racer to compete against, the game also allows you to play in split-screen mode with a friend, showing just how good a high-level Unreal Engine 4 Star Wars racing game could be, with the motion blur of the environment to articulate just how fast you're going, to the way the engines move independently from the chassis of the pod racer. It really takes what the N64 version wanted to achieve and multiply it by 10. The only thing that could make this even better? VR, without a doubt. As for updates for this game, the developers posted a trailer, gameplay footage, and a demo to download and play. As for that, nothing. Whilst the developer mentioned it was in beta, insinuating there were more updates to come, it looks like it was simply a mini project to demonstrate skills in the Unreal Engine 4. Force Fighter actually originates to the PS4 exclusive Dreams, that allows you to create your own games and share them with the world. Whilst there isn't much to this demo, the fact that it's made within the Dreams game certainly makes this impressive, adopting a similar scope to the Starfighter's Assault game mode in Battlefront 2. You fly around space in an X-Wing, taking on other TIE fighters while navigating around an Imperial Star Destroyer, whilst also having the ability to support VR. Creator Gror Feynman seems to have moved on from his creation, focusing on other projects in Dreams. But that doesn't take away from the proof of concept that perhaps the next Dreams creator can make something even better. Star Wars Redemptions wasn't initially going to be included on this list, as it's not even playable and there's incredibly little coverage on the project. But Star Wars Redemption is a fan-made game that has only got animations and character designs to show off for it, focusing purely in the Clone Wars era and a story around a Jedi disguised in a clone trooper outfit. Animations for this project has been seen as far back as 2017, but the reason I wanted to show it is just to point out how amazing the designs, animation and polish all of this work has been leading up to, and what seems like some sort of game. Characters have these brilliant niche designs to them, as well as having studio quality animation. Whilst information on this has been completely minimal, especially when there's not been that much notability on this project elsewhere, it's definitely something I wanted to drop in on the end of my list. If you want to see more about this project, the best way to see it is on the creators blog, which I'll link in the description down below. Well, that leads me to the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching, and if you've made it this far, may I also recommend our newly released Patreon. We cover tons of new rewards and perks for all of you that subscribe. From newsletters, extra videos, playing games with us, specialised merch and more. And hey, if you're unable to do Patreon, YouTube memberships also share the same perks and rewards. And finally, if you love all things Star Wars, hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell. As for me, I've been Charlie, you've been watching X2, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.